The Berenstain Bears Life with Papa by Stan and Jan Berenstain. Hey, we were pretty cute when we were babies, said Brother Bear as the family looked through a photo album one day. You're still pretty cute, said Mama Bear, giving him and his sister a little hug. Mama, please, protested Brother Bear. What do you think Cousin Bertha's baby will look like? Sister Bear wondered. Like Cousin Bertha and Cousin Bert, of course, said Mama. Cousin Bertha, who lived at the other side of the forest, was expecting her first cub quite soon. Then Mamma sighed and said, I do wish I could go stay with her for a few days. Being a first-time Mamma Bear isn't easy, and I think I could be a big help. Sounds like a good idea to me, said Papa Bear. What's to stop you? What's to stop me? Huffed Mamma. Who's going to take care of things while I'm gone? The cooking, the cleaning, the shopping, and all the other things that need tending to. Yours truly, Papa Q Bear, of course, said Papa, puffing out his chest. Not only can I handle the job, but I can handle it half asleep with one hand tied behind me. Oh, is that so? Said Mamma. Well, let me tell you a thing or two. That's when the phone rang. It was Cousin Bert with some news. Twins! Exclaimed Mamma when she heard the big news. Then, as she hung up, she said, That settles it. I will have to spend a few days helping out. As for things here at home, I'll do what I can before I leave and just hope for the best. Bye, Mamma, shouted the cubs as she drove away in the family car. And don't worry, shouted Papa. I can handle things here at home, no trouble at all. Not only that, he added, when Mamma was out of sight, I'm going to handle them like they've never been handled before. First, I think I'll give these rugs a good cleaning. Okay, Papa, said the cubs. We'll get the vacuum cleaner. Forget it, said Papa. I'm going to clean them the old-fashioned way. I'm going to get that deep-down dirt out with the rug beater. Then he snatched up all the rugs and was out the door. It wasn't until the cubs heard the whack-whack of the rug beater that they remembered something important. One of the jobs Mamma had done before she left was to hang the wash out on the line. Wait, Papa, wait, they shouted, rushing out the door. But they were too late. Just try to do this with the vacuum cleaner, said Papa, as he whacked another cloud of deep-down dirt out of the rugs. When brother and sister pointed out that the deep-down rug dirt was now all over the wash, he said, Don't worry, it'll surely rain before Mamma comes back and rinse it all off. Meanwhile, you cubs are in for a treat because it's time for lunch, and I'm going to make my triple flip honey mustard pancakes. Honey mustard, they said, each making a face. But on the third flip, Papa got a little carried away and flipped the pancakes so high they stuck to the ceiling. Not to worry, he said as he scraped the gooey mess off the ceiling and served it to them. Mama's ceiling is clean enough to eat off. And, said Papa, what could be nicer after a good lunch than a cozy fire in the fireplace? Don't forget to open the flue, screamed the cubs as he lit the fire. But once again they were too late. Since the smoke couldn't escape up the chimney, it billowed through the house. Not to worry, yelled Papa, trying to beat the fire out with one of their best pillows. But all he got for his trouble was a burst pillow and clouds of feathers. The fire hissed and steamed as brother and sister doused it with water. What a mess! Smoke, feathers, wet gunk in the fireplace, pancake goo on the ceiling, dirty wash on the line. That's when the phone rang. It was Mamma. It turned out that Cousin Bertha's neighbors were giving her so much help that Mamma wasn't needed. She was starting for home and would arrive soon. When the bear family's neighbor, Mr. Skunk, saw smoke and feathers billowing from the treehouse windows, he knew something must be very wrong and came over to offer his help. We're beyond help, said Papa Bear. But when the cubs explained things to him, Mr. Skunk said, You're never beyond help, not when you have friends. He called upon their forest friends, and more quickly than it takes to tell, the creatures of the forest pitched in to clean up the mess. Birds and butterflies fanned the smoke out with their wings. Squirrels dusted with their tails. Frogs snatched feathers with their sticky tongues. Raccoons rinsed the dirty wash in the brook. Papa, brother, and sister bear helped too, of course. Then, just as the last feather was snagged and the last bit of dust was whisked from the fireplace, Mama Bear arrived home. After hugs from Papa and the cubs and a report on the twins, she looked around the house. "The house looks wonderful, my dear," she said. "However did you manage it?" "Well," said Papa, "it did take a little doing." "And," added the cubs under their breath, "a little undoing." The end.